Good day, class. Yeah, welcome back to our chemistry class today. Today's class, we are going to be talking about Charles' law. Charles' law. Just before we dive into this topic proper, if you are a new member on this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell for my subsequent contents. Now, Charles' law. This particular physicist, Charles, gave us some explanation on the behavior of gases and temperature in 1787. He explained on the change in the volume of gases related with temperature. That is, as temperature increases, the volume of gases also change, meaning there's an increase in the kinetic energy of that gases. Now, Charles' law states that the volume of a given mass of gas is directly proportional to the temperature or to the absolute temperature, provided that the amount of gases and pressure remains constant. Now, the volume of a given mass of gas is directly proportional to the temperature change, provided that the amount of gases, that is the mass of gases, and pressure are constant. In mathematics, we can't work with this. We have to remove this proportionality. By when we remove it, we introduce a constant, a gas constant, V is equals to KT. So this is a relationship between volume and temperature. Now, when we modify this, since our K is not needed, when the volume of a gas changes from the initial volume, definitely is going to have a temperature, which is the initial temperature. It will change from the initial to final, that is V1 to V2. Likewise, the temperature will change from T1 to T2. Here, we have K is equals to V over T. So when the volume and temperature are changing, we have V1 over T1 is equals to V2 over T2. This is the explanation of Jacques Charles in 1787. Now from here, we can get the ratio of volume to temperature. That is V1 over V2 we equals to T1 over T2. When you cross multiply, we are going to have V1 T2, can say V1 T2, likewise V2 T1, V2 T1. So this is the ratio of volume to gas. That is V1 ratio V2 will be equals to T1 ratio T2. So this is Charles' law. The next subtopic we're going to talk about is the kinetic explanation of Charles' law. Since we know that Charles' law is talking about the volume to temperature relationship, let's check this air. This container containing air before eating. Before eating, we found out that the cork is tightly on the flat bottom flask. In this case, the particles of the gas of air, they are in constant motion. They are moving relative to the temperature. They are also colliding with one another. But immediately you increase the temperature when you start eating. As the temperature increases, the volume of the gas also increases. So the gases increases in volume as well. In which case, each of the particles in this container will be colliding with one another. When they are colliding with one another, they also collide with the wall of the container. Since their mass is negligible, they try to escape from this space. When they are trying to escape from this space, they hit this wooden cork, thereby pushing up the wooden cork. So, as they are pushing up the wooden cork, trying to escape from this flask, it shows that increase in temperature also leads to the increase in the volume of the gases. So the increase in temperature leads to the expansion of the gases, thereby escaping from this space. Now, in this case, when you increase the temperature, the speed of the gases also increases. That is, the velocity of the gases increases. So that is the explanation behind the kinetic theory of this gas. Now, let us look at the application of this formula. Example 1, the volume of a fixed mass of gas measured at atmospheric pressure and 27 degrees Celsius is 3.0 dm cube. Calculate the volume of 127 degrees Celsius and at the same pressure. Now, here we have the volume of a fixed mass of gas measured at atmospheric pressure and 27 degrees Celsius. So this 27 degrees Celsius is our T1, 27 degrees Celsius. Don't forget from our previous classes, we have to convert this to Kelvin by saying 27 plus 273, which is the absolute temperature. When you add it up, we are going to have 0, 0, that is 300 Kelvin. Is 3.0 dm cube. Our V1, 3.0 dm cube. We are now told to calculate the volume of 127 degrees Celsius. That's another temperature. That should be our T2, 127 degrees Celsius. So we want to calculate the volume. That should be our V2 to be calculated. But we need to calculate this, change it to Kelvin by saying 127 plus 273. So we have 400 Kelvin. Now, since we are told that it is at the same pressure, this occur at particular pressure, atmospheric pressure, and the other one occur at the same pressure, meaning as constant pressure. When the pressure is constant, we talk about Charles' law, that is V1 over T1 equals to V2 over T2. I need my V2. Let me cross multiply. So my unknown to come here, T1 V2 is equals to V1 T2. Since I need my V2, I have to divide both sides by this T1. So I have T1 V2 over T1 is equals to V1 T2 over T1. So T1 cancel T1. Our V2 equals to V1 T2 divided by T1. Now I have to input my values. My V1 here is 3.0 multiplied by my T2 is 400 divided by my T1 is 300. So 3 goes in 3. So I have V2 to be equal to 4.0 decimeter cube. Example 2. A given mass of gas occupies 500 centimeter cube at 25 degrees Celsius. Calculate the temperature in degrees Celsius at which its volume becomes doubled at constant pressure. Now let's interpret this. A given mass of gas occupies 500 cm cube at 25 degrees Celsius. So the first volume, V1, is 500 centimeter cube, and the temperature T1 is 25 degrees Celsius. So we have to convert this one into Kelvin by saying 25 plus 273, which give 298 Kelvin. Fine. Calculate the temperature. We have the first temperature here. We have to calculate another temperature. That should be our T2 to be calculated. At which, in degrees Celsius, at which its volume, that is V2, becomes doubled. So V2 becomes double, mean V2 is 2 times of the initial volume. That is, initial volume is V1, so V2 is going to be 2 multiplied by V1, which is equal to what? 2V1. Now, we are told that it takes place at constant pressure. That is Charles' law. That is V1 over T1 is equals to V2 over T2. From here, we cross multiply. Since we are looking for T2, cross multiply. So we have V1 T2 is equals to V2 T1. I need my T2. I have to divide both sides by V1. So I have V1 T2 over V1 is equals to V2 T1 over V1. V1 goes in V1. T2 is equals to V2 T1 divided by V1. Now my V2 is here 2V1 multiplied by my T1 is 500 divided by my V1. Sorry, my V2 is 2V1, my T1 is 298 divided by V1, which is 500. Don't forget, our V1 is 500. Definitely, this V1 here will be 500 as well. 2 multiplied by 500 multiplied by 298 divided by 500. So 500 goes in 500. So our T2 will equal to 2 multiplied by 298. We have 596 Kelvin. But this, we are told to find our answer in degrees Celsius. Meaning, when you are converting from degrees Celsius to Kelvin, we are adding 273. So if you are now converting back to degrees Celsius, you subtract 596 minus 273. So we have 323 degrees Celsius. Example 3. To what temperature must the hydrogen gas at 32 degrees Celsius be cooled in order to reduce its volume to 1/5 of its original volume at a constant pressure? So which means that this first temperature is our initial temperature. Then we now want to find the second temperature, which is temperature T2. So from here, let us now interpret this. To what temperature, that is, our T2 is unknown, must the hydrogen gas at 32 degrees Celsius, T1 is 32 degrees Celsius, which has to be converted into Kelvin by saying 32 plus 273. So we have 305 Kelvin. Okay? Be cooled in order to reduce its volume to 1/5 of its original volume. You know, we don't know the original volume before, but we are reducing the volume of this second temperature. When the temperature is T2, we are going to reduce the volume to 1/5 of its original volume. Okay, let's the original volume be V1, meaning if the original volume is V1, definitely our V2 will now equal to 1/5, 1/5 of V1. That is V1 times 1, V1 over 5. Fine. Since it's at constant pressure, using our Charles law, V1 over T1 is equals to V2 over T2. To calculate our T2, let's cross multiply. V1 T2 equals to V2 T1. I need to calculate my T2. So T2 will equals to V2 T1 divided by V1. From here, my T2 will now equals to, my V2 now is V1 divided by 5 multiplied by my T1, what we have, 205 divided by my V1 is the remaining V1. So from here, I can have something this way. 5 here 1, 5 in 30 we have 6, here 61. So V1 times 61 divided by V1. So V1 goes in V1. My T2 becomes 61 Kelvin. So this is the second temperature. So when the temperature is T2, our V2 will be 1/5 of our V1. So, this is how to go about the calculation of Charles law. In order to test our understanding, let us attempt this exercise and send it to the number below for the verification. A gas sample with initial volume of 3.25 dm cube is heated and allowed to expand to 9.75 dm cube at constant pressure. What is the ratio of the final absolute temperature to the initial absolute temperature? If you really find values in this class, kindly subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell for my subsequent content. For our usual member, I say thank you for believing in me. We meet in the next class. Thank you.